Next up, Texas is finally back. They will upset Bama and make the playoffs. Woo! What do y'all think about that? It's getting a little spicy. In honor of us being exactly 1 month away until college football starts, yes, I can't believe it. It is literally right around the corner. Guess what we're going to do in today's video? We're going to take a look at some hot takes heading into 2023. And you know what? I think this is going to be a really interesting video. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a look at these hot takes, but right now I'm going to tweet out, send me or tweet at me your hot takes for 2023, and we'll take a look at those in a video in a couple days or maybe next week. I'll pop up my Twitter in the tweet right here. Send me your hot takes under this tweet right here. And actually, now that I just thought about this, it'd probably be more convenient just for you to send me your hot takes in the YouTube comment section as well, but we'll do both. Send me your hot takes on the YouTube comment section. If you got Twitter, send me them to Twitter as well. Getting that out the way though, let's take a look at these hot takes. And also, let me clarify this because I know you're gonna have some people say, yo, that's crazy, that would never happen. Well, duh, that's why it's called a hot take. So I don't want to see anybody in the comment section saying, man, these are crazy. Yeah, that's kind of the point, you genius. Hot take number 1 is USC has a disappointing season and loses 3 games. Caleb Williams misses Heisman ceremony. And oh yeah, by the way, you're getting my live reaction to this because somebody tagged me in this post and I've saved it for this video. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to spice this up. I'm going to grade these hot takes on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I don't believe in it whatsoever, or 10 being I could see this totally happening. I'm going to give this one a 6 because I definitely could see this happening. You see this all the time with Heisman Trophy winners when they come back. The next year, it's always disappointing. Do I see USC losing 3 games? Not necessarily, but I wouldn't be shocked if Caleb Williams doesn't make the Heisman ceremony because we all know how that goes. It's the same thing I said about Bryce Young last year. For him to even be in the contention for the Heisman Trophy, he's going to have to put up double the numbers he did last year. Should it be that way? No, but it's the reality. Next hot take, watching a game at home is significantly better than the at-stadium experience. Well, what do you know? I've been saying this for the past couple of years, and this is just me. I enjoy watching games at home more than going to the football stadiums. That's just me. I normally try to go to 1, maybe 2 games a year, and I enjoy them at home more. And the reason I enjoy them at home more is because you can see everything. A lot of times, like for example, I had really good seats. I think it was to the Ole Miss-Alabama game 2 years ago. I was on the 50-yard line. And you can't even see if field goals go in. You can't see the interview, you know, where Lane Kiffin, he was like, oh, get your popcorn ready. Well, at the game, you didn't even see that. My point is, when you're at the game, there's just a lot of stuff you don't see, and plus, that's the only game you get to really focus on. When you're at home, dude, you can have on 8 games at once. You also got to drive to the stadium, then you got to pay for parking, and I just like it at home more. That's my personal preference. So for me, no, this isn't a hot take. I agree with it. But I know a lot of people, they like the experience of being at the stadium, and if that's your thing, then go right ahead. I do find that one interesting, though, because I've stated that on the channel multiple times. Hot take number 3. This is the last year of Ryan Day. After he loses to Michigan again, in all caps, he will be fired. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 7 because, yeah, I could see this being the last year for Ryan Day. If he loses to Michigan for the 3rd straight year, he's gone. I've stated this numerous times. Ryan Day, he's a fraud. He's a chump. He should have been fired last year. As to why he still has a job, I don't know. Everybody knows Brian Hartline's the best part of Ohio State. Moving along here, Nicholas Singleton will have an insane season. Shatters all of Saquon's record. Heisman question mark? Ooh, that's an interesting one because this is a young man I've been high on ever since last year. I even think a lot of diehard college football fans, people a part of our community, don't even know that Singleton last year, he was a freshman. This dude is a stud. Coming out of high school, he's a 5-star recruit. Wouldn't be shocked if he's up there in the Heisman conversation. Penn State has that new 5-star quarterback coming in. It's going to be his first year starting, so I do expect them to run the ball a lot. And for a running back to be considered for the Heisman Trophy, he's going to have to get a lot of carries. But also remember, they have another running back. I can't think of his name. I've just completely lost his name, but if you know, you know who I'm talking about. So I don't see him getting a bulk of the carries. He'll probably get, I'd say 65% of them. I'm going to give that on a scale of 1 to 10. Chances of that happening, a 3. And it's not because I don't believe in Singleton. I love him. It's because they also have another running back who's really good. Next up, we got cheering for your conference against other conferences is dumb and a loser mentality. Ooh, this one's interesting. This one's also controversial because I've seen multiple times, because y'all know I'm an SEC fan. I go for all the SEC schools. And I've seen SEC fans say, yo, Matt, I don't understand why you as an Alabama fan, you root for teams like Auburn when they're playing in a bowl game. I'd say 98% of SEC fans, they want to see the conference do good. But I've seen a ton of fans of the Big Ten, ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-12. They're like, well, Matt, I don't understand the whole thing where you're pulling for your entire conference. To me, I think it's weird not to root for your conference, because wouldn't you want teams in your conference to do good against other conferences, because that makes your conference look better? That's just my logical thinking. If you don't want to see your own conference do good against other conferences, I don't understand how you think and operate. That's just me, so no, I don't think it's a dumb and loser mentality to root for your conference against other conferences. No. It's like a unity thing. At least that is for the SEC. I can't speak for other conferences. Moving along to our next hot take. Duke upsets Clemson in week 1 and has their first 10-win season since 2013. Wow, what do y'all think about that? Is that really a hot take? I mean, Clemson, they've been slightly overrated the past couple of years. They've underperformed. And Duke, yes, Duke. Could they pull off an upset? Yeah, I'm sure they could. Will they? Probably not. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10 chance of happening. Next up, Spencer Rattler finally, in all caps, proves that he is that guy and he has a Heisman-worthy season. Brother, the good old Rattler, he's due for a great year. The thing with Rattler is, and it was even at Oklahoma, he'd have a 3 to 4 game stretch where he looks really good, but then he'd have a 3 to 4 game stretch where he looks really bad. He was like that at Oklahoma, and even last year for South Carolina, he was like that. I'm on the Spencer Rattler hype train. I'm on the South Carolina hype train. I think everything's lining up for them to have a great season. I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10 chance of happening. Pretty high. I could definitely see him getting some Heisman love. Next up, NIL isn't killing college football. Realignment isn't killing college football. It's all the commercials that's killing college football. A game shouldn't last 4+ hours. I mean, it is what it is. You can't have college football. You can't have TV in general without commercials. That is how we fund all of this. Commercials. It's all about revenue, so there's nothing really to argue and bicker about here. In this last statement, a game shouldn't last 4+ hours. Why the crap not? That one game on Saturday for my favorite team is my escape from reality. Heck, I wish it could last 24 hours. That's a different conversation for a different day. I just think this is a dumb take. Next up, Texas is finally back. They will upset Bama and make the playoffs. Woo! What do y'all think about that? It's getting a little spicy. Why did I say that? I don't know. That sounded corny, but yeah, Texas is finally back. Let's talk about it. Let me give you my prediction for they will upset Bama and make the playoffs. First things first, Bama, I'm going to give that a 5 out of 10. Could definitely see that happening, but it is in Tuscaloosa, so remember that, folks. And as far as making the playoffs, I'm not a big believer in the Sarknado. Steve Sarkisian, that's the Sarknado if y'all don't know. I'm going to give that a 3 out of 10. I don't think it's a crazy hot take. I mean, Texas has all the talent in the world. They got a pretty good head coach, and Quinn Ewers, y'all know how I feel about him. Love him. Next up, Jeff Sims becomes the next unproven quarterback to skyrocket up draft boards like AR-15 and Zach Wilson. For those of y'all who don't know who Jeff Sims is, and I've kept up with him a lot, he was the quarterback at Georgia Tech. Unfortunately, he didn't get a lot of recognition because Georgia Tech is dog crap. But now he is transferred to Nebraska, and I've heard a lot of good things from him in the spring practices and heading into fall practice. He could have a breakout season, but remember, he plays for Nebraska. Nebraska sucks. So I guess we'll have to see what happens there. I do like his game. He's got a strong arm. I'm going to give this a... as far as comparing him to AR, which is Anthony Richardson, that's kind of crazy. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10 chance of happening. I do like Jeff Sims, and let's check out some of these comments. Okay, the first couple of comments are saying, yo, the second one's wild. What was the second one? Hold on, let me pull it up. What was the second one? Well, he lost it. Oh, yeah, watching a game at home is significantly better than the at-stadium experience. Dude, that's even what I've been saying the past couple of years. How is that a hot take? I just like watching the games more at home. It's a personal preference. And I'm not saying going to the games is bad whatsoever. I love going to college football games. But for me, I like sitting in my air conditioning. I like getting up and getting my snacks when I want. I like watching 8 games at once and everything that comes with watching it at home. But hey, that's just me. If you want to go to a stadium and pay $10 for a jumbo pretzel that's not even fully salted, you do you, my brother. You want to pay $8 for a water and you want to pay $55 to park and do all that stuff, go right ahead. I'm not stopping you, that's for sure, so you don't got to worry about me. And it's not so much about the money because I don't think you can put a price tag on a good experience. Like I said, I went to the Alabama-Ole Miss game a couple years ago, and I didn't even know Lane Kiffin said, get your popcorn ready, until I got home, and I think it was Sunday morning, and I was rewatching all the highlights. And on top of that, when you go to a game, that is the one and only game you can really focus on. And then if you're in the Southeast and your team's playing at 11 or noon Eastern, and you're playing at 2:30 or 3:30, dude, it is hot. If you ain't sitting in the shade, you are going to be smothering, man. And don't get me started on how close the seats are. I mean, you are shoulder by shoulder. I'll put it this way. I have more fun and I enjoy going to college basketball games more than college football games just because of the seating and the air conditioning. You go to a college basketball game, you're not really rubbing shoulders. If you're at a college football game, oh yeah, you're shoulder to shoulder. I don't think it's a hot take. I just think a lot of people are scared to say they'd rather watch the game at home. Here's a reply. Ohio State is not firing Ryan Day if he loses to Michigan again. Oh, really? I beg to differ. You lose to big bro Michigan 3 straight years, you gotta be fired. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's the same thing with Auburn, Alabama. If you're Alabama's head coach, you lose to Auburn 3 straight years, you're gone. Those are all the hot takes I was on that post, and let me try to think, what would be my biggest hot take heading into 2023? I would say, I think I'm gonna go with this. I would say my biggest hot take, and I'll give y'all 2. My first one is that the Big Ten not only gets 1 team into the college football playoff, but they get 2. I think that's a hot take because that's never happened before. I think this could be the year where you see a lot of chaos happen and somehow, someway the Big Ten sneaks in 2 teams. And my other hot take would be this right here. Florida State is undefeated heading into the college football playoff. What do y'all think about that? FSU, the Cinnamon Rolls, undefeated heading into the playoff. I'm liking those, I really am. And let's do one more. Let's do one more hot take. My last hot take would be this right here because I do think this might be a little controversial. Texas wins more games than Ohio State. But yeah, this is a little different video, and we'll do a part 2 to this. If you guys really like this video, go reply to my tweet, send me your hot takes. We'll read those off in a video coming up soon, but yeah, let me know your thoughts down below.